Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, it seems like, I've been here 3 years, but it seems like we do this every year, whether it's in Washington, D.C., or when we have meetings in California about it, the continued frustration that there's more board feet growing in the forest than we're even coming close to managing or downsizing. I mean, we're behind the ball on the number of board feet that are out there of trees that are not healthy or dead trees, and the inventory per acre, whether it's a drought situation or not. So when I hear, again, and I want to be respectful, but that you're increasing the numbers, you're increasing the number that's still way behind what is needed to have a healthy forest situation. And when we have the salvage situation like we're trying to do with the West Side Fire up in northeast or northwest California, and it's only was approved on February 29th for a fire that happened in the fall of 2014. So we've lost a year and a half because somebody wanted to count owls or what have you. And so the salvage value from doing, again, 4% of that salvage fire, or for that fire, the damage there, is now going to probably be delayed by even more lawsuits. I guess, at what point will the Forest Service stand up and spend its budget towards fighting lawsuits and doing the work instead of, oh, we better back off and wait another year and study more owls and not get anything done? I mean, because the window's already closing on any value there was in the West Side Fire a year and a half later. You need to be out there in 6 months. The private sector's out there in as soon as the last embers are out on private land. And the Forest Service, you can look at a picture. You can just see the checkerboard: private land, public land, and which one is healthy again. So, what's the strategy going to be to get back to a salvage situation and say no to the lawsuits? We're just going to fight you. Do you have that?
Congressman, we do move forward with salvage. We had success on the rim fire. The fire you're referring to, it took longer than expected, but we are moving forward, and actually have implemented we've sold 2 cells off of that project already, and I think there's another one that's coming soon. So we are moving forward with it. When we do all of our projects, we have to engage the public. We also need to factor in multiple use, whether it's with wildlife, whether it's with fisheries, whether it's for watershed conditions. And so those are the things that we have to deal with.
Okay.
And
in my limited time here, I know you have the public hearings, and that's all sounds ideal until you turned out that it's just the usual complainer groups that freeze you all in your tracks. Like you talked about in some of the previous questioning, public process on closed roads. Public process, now I hear a lot how the public process means you came, you had a hearing, and you went with a decision that you were either intimidated to do by environmental groups or the decision you were going to make anyway, whether it's you or NIMFs or somebody else that's involved. The public process, yeah, we heard you, public, but it ends up being that there's more shutdown, there's more inability to keep roads open, which is a huge amount of frustration, and the access that would mean for recreation and, more importantly, for timber management or the ability to get in on a fire. Does that public process to you look actually realistic from the folks that are leaning towards more forest management?
Well, actually, through our collaborative efforts of being able to engage diverse communities, it's allowed us to reduce the controversy.
Hold on. Man, that is just beautiful Washington, D.C. a collaborative effort to engage certain communities. How about the communities that are living in the smoke? We're so frustrated. And you're talking Washington, D.C.'s language here, man. That is so frustrating for me and for the people that are going to hear this hearing.
So, Congressman, I'm speaking from my 39 years working for the Forest Service at every level of this agency. And when I talk about the progress that we've made through these collaborative efforts, it's resulted in us not only to be able to take on much larger projects, be able to expand the work at the same time that we're reducing our costs. But it's gone a long way to eliminate a lot of the controversy and conflict that used to plague our ability to be able to get resource management done. So last year in
And the usual cast of
2015,
characters are suing right now on a little tiny salvage project. I don't think we've made a lot of progress, sir. I'm sorry, our time is up on this round, but I'd love to hear some more on that.